Cobra Commander might be the most unhinged, screeching cartoon villain from our childhoods, but his path of financial destruction is absolutely legendary. In just one single 22-minute episode of G.I. Joe, this man triggers a global energy crisis, destroys high-tech military assets, and causes so much property damage it would make a multi-billion-dollar insurance company immediately declare bankruptcy. Today we look at the episode Cobra Stops the World to find out exactly how much money Cobra and the Joes actually cost the world. Let's start the clock and pull out the invoice. The episode opens with Cobra Commander hijacking every television screen on Earth to announce a terrifying 12-hour global blitz against the world's energy grid. He threatens a new dark age unless everyone surrenders, and he immediately drops the receipts of what Cobra has already wrecked. First, they attacked a series of offshore drilling platforms. That is a quick $500 million in demolished ocean infrastructure. Next, he boasts about striking every major oil field out in the desert. That's another $240 million gone. Then, he reveals they blew up vital links of the Alaskan pipeline, repairing heavy-duty pipeline infrastructure tax on another $150 million in pure property damage. But Cobra Commander isn't done flexing. To prove he can hit them anywhere, anytime, he fires a massive laser beam that bounces off a satellite in space, hitting a group of 5 moving oil tankers and completely vanishing them into thin air. Every single one of these individual megatankers carries a replacement cost of $120 million, meaning the loss of the vessels alone instantly wipes $600 million off the global shipping market. Add in the 10 million barrels of crude oil they were carrying, valued at $800 million, and this single satellite strike just hit the world with a massive $1.4 billion heist. Next up, the G.I. Joe team decides to handle economic terrorism the only way they know how, by blowing stuff up. The Joes fires a single laser shot into a Cobra-occupied offshore oil platform, and the entire thing completely sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Now wait a minute, technically the Joes are the ones who pulled the trigger and sank this thing, but since Cobra are the ones who illegally hijacked it and turned it into a weaponized clubhouse, we are charging every single penny of this disaster straight to Cobra Commander's tab. If you don't want your real estate exploded by the military, don't use it to harbor international terrorists. An offshore drilling rig costs an average of $500 million to build. Throw in the absolute environmental nightmare of capping a ruptured underwater wellhead and cleaning up the spill, and you are adding another $150 million in liabilities. Even though the Joes did the physical smashing, that is a massive $650 million crater blown straight into the global energy grid because Cobra couldn't stay in their own lane. Meanwhile, up in the air, Duke and Ace are having a wild dogfight with a squadron of Cobra Rattlers. They knock the bad guys out of the sky, but one lucky shot catches Duke's XP-14 Sky Striker jet. Duke and Ace manage to eject safely, but their multi-million-dollar fighter jet slams directly into the water and is completely destroyed. Replaced today, a military-grade fighter aircraft like that carries a price tag of roughly $38 million. While that's happening, Scarlet is working a completely separate angle, tracking Cobra's signal to an ordinary suburban home. She completely exposes it as a weaponized Cobra safe house, but the cleanup bill for what happens inside is a total disaster. During the chaos, a massive brawl breaks out that absolutely dismantles the interior of the house. Furniture is shattered to splinters, walls are smashed through, structural drywall is ruined, and high-end electronics are completely totaled. To top it all off, right in the middle of the safe house raid, Cobra Commander pops right back up on the television screen to throw a massive multi-million-dollar temper tantrum. Just to prove to the entire world that his satellite weapon isn't a bluff, he pushes a button on screen and completely detonates one of his captured oil tankers in real time. Boom, there goes another $120 million mega tanker ship and $160 million worth of crude oil straight up in smoke. That is a quick $280 million live broadcast flex just because he was annoyed. Add in the cost to gut the suburban home's interior, fix the structural wall framing, replace the shattered furniture, repair the secret floorboard trapdoor the Cobra squad used to escape, and replace all the ruined electronics, and you tack another $85,000 onto that safe house tab. Because Cobra illegally converted a civilian residential home into a secret military outpost and blew up a ship on their TV, we are charging every single penny directly to Cobra Commander. The absolute peak chaos happens in the jungle. After being captured and escaping Major Blood, Duke and Ace find a secret Cobra base that is part airfield, part illegal diamond mine. Instead of playing it safe and waiting for backup, Duke decides to go completely rogue. Ace steals a Cobra Rattler jet to get away, and Duke, who apparently woke up and chose absolute structural violence, hijacks a second plane and straight up rams it directly into the entrance of the mine. Just let that sink in. This man crashed a whole entire fighter jet into a diamond mine. The crash triggers a massive catastrophic cave-in that permanently seals the entire operation shut. Now, we don't care about the Cobra planes that got crushed in the explosion. That's Cobra's financial problem. What does count is the fact that Duke's wild stunt triggered a deep earth collapse, completely burying millions of dollars in raw, unmined global diamond reserves under hundreds of tons of solid rock, rendering the natural resources completely unrecoverable. Since Cobra didn't touch this place and Duke completely went off script to play Demolition Derby, we cannot blame Cobra Commander for this one. This is a clean $25 million hit to the world's mineral supply charged straight to G.I. Joe, all because Duke's favorite coping mechanism is vehicular manslaughter. While the world leaders are sweating, Sparks is over at Joe headquarters furiously finishing up a brand new invention, a remote frequency scanner. The second he attaches it to the main communication monitor, Cobra Commander's face fills the screen with a terrifying final ultimatum. He tells the world that since he hasn't received a total surrender from your so-called leaders, he's going to start liquidating their assets. He presses the button right then and there, detonating another captured megatanker on live TV to prove that he will blow up a new ship each hour until they give in. Boom! There goes another $120 million ship and $160 million worth of crude oil completely vaporized into thin air. That is a brutal $280 million power move to show the world that the clock is officially ticking. With the coordinates confirmed, the US military launches the main event, a massive, full-scale amphibious invasion packed with tanks, missiles, battleships, and troops to take the entire base back. Deploying a force that massive for a high-intensity combat operation costs an estimated $45 million for a single day of operations. Since Cobra's global terrorism is the only reason the military had to clear their calendar and launch a small war, Cobra Commander is eating every single penny of this operational bill. So, when we strip away Cobra's internal losses and look strictly at the wreckage forced onto the rest of the planet, it is time to look at the final invoice. Between the initial global blitz, the hijacked tankers, the vaporized public oil platform, Duke's destroyed taxpayer-funded fighter jet, the trashed suburban safehouse interior, Cobra Commander's brutal on-screen tanker explosions, and the massive final invasion, Cobra Commander racked up a staggering property damage bill. And of course, let's not forget our hero Duke driving a jet into a diamond mine and permanently burying $25 million of the world's mineral supply just to show off. When you add it all up, the grand total for just one single 22-minute cartoon episode comes out to a mind-blowing $3,693,285,000.
Damn!
I'm sorry.
Cobra Commander didn't just stop the world, he caused enough financial destruction to permanently bankrupt a small country. And the craziest part, the episode ends with the world saved and Duke joking about parking a giant military fighter jet at a movie theater because they are cooking with gas.
Now you're cooking with gas.
What?
Yeah, Duke, when your team is responsible for blowing up billions of dollars in infrastructure, I guess a parking ticket is the absolute least of your worries. Drop a comment below with the next cartoon villain we need to put through a financial audit, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next episode of Saturday Morning Cartoon Crimes.